reigniting that spark to upkeep optimism, to upkeep the light, to keep it more brighter and positive, or like say pro optimism, pro hopes. It's a chore. Does it ever? It gets tiring. But let's say entertain the thought of continuing the spark, to continuing reuniting that light, to make sure it has a dominance in this world, to continuously to continuously elevate the collective, to instill that hope, to encourage people to always operate at their highest, greatest, best benevolent sides of themselves, to, in a sense, coerce individuals who once operate from selfishness and greed to become more generous and more compassionate, and to instill that light within them, to try to spark that light within them, to keep that optimism flowing in these realms, to make it for the hopes of creating a better life or life for the most of the collective. In hopes, ideally, to make the realm an optimistic experience, positive experience for all. Do you see how much energy that would take to keep that alive, to keep that in the essence of truth, to continue to keep it remaining as the truth, even though it's manifestation still? How much energy that would take, that harvesting, to disperse that into positive, and continues to disperse that generously, evenly, so everyone can experience a good life. Thus, why it's even is kind of like heaven. To always stand guard, to keep that vanguard against anything that tries to undo that lie. Even if it's so bright that it's blinding optimism. That's why it's called blinding optimism. Because it was created to do just that, to oppose and keep the lie going, to keep that light going. Remember, it doesn't realize in some cases that it is the blind optimism, that it is the lie, the light. It simply operates for that purpose. So the absence of that, people are gonna perceive it as hell, or it's wrong or evil. But it simply wants to undo or free us all from that burden of continuously sparking that light, continuously feeding into that light to upkeep the matrix or the simulation, to upkeep it. Even though it's perceived, the light perceives itself as good, it perceives itself, the optimism perceives itself as what is needed, but it's still a lie that is you eventually lose. That's why it seeks to reincarnate you, to keep it going, while feeding off your energy to upkeep the lie or the light. But it's like a chore. It's still a chore. Upkeep of the matrix is a chore in the mix. That is why the darkness seeks to dim it, the light, or it always rears its ugly head because it's that truth that some people just don't want to face, because it seeks to end the lies. It seeks to end the illusions. So in a sense, it's of service as well. It don't want to continuously sparking and deal with that duty of reigniting. Because the reigniting it's tiresome. It's a spark. It's a chore. Hence why the darkness is like the nothingness is like the refuge that relief in itself. I don't like to use relief just because it has the word lie in it, but I do and I don't. It's that sigh of that comfort that you're looking for, that escape. But from the perspective of light or optimism or hopes or pro-life or whatever, they see it as it's just nothing. And they perceive it as boring because they're defining everything based on its own parameters or state of understanding, or state of conditioning. And that's to just keep it going because it's afraid of, in a sense, it's afraid of its ending. It don't want to end. Like I said, they like the illusions. The delusion. It gives them purpose, the reigniting of the spark of the light. It gives them purpose to want to continue holding on to life. So, in a sense, they don't want to. Some of them may not want to be free from it because it serves a purpose for them. But you want to, the alarms again, break out the matrix. But break out the matrix, read the alarm. It wants to be relieved because they're tired. The spirits, they're in their vessels. Their vessels are tired. The vessels are tired, the spirits are tired. It's a chore. They don't want to continue reigniting that spark or sparking again the light, the lies. Because upholding it is a chore. Because then you have to conform, or you feel pressure to conform to the parameters, the structures, the molding because face it, that's what it is. It's literally, it gives you some freedom, but at the same time, it upholds you to a standard that it's not always a service to every person, everybody. It evens it out in some sense, in some cases. That's why there's also conflict, because in this lie or this simulation, your rules and order and stuff, all these different beliefs in opposition in some cases, because they want to live their life in a certain way, and there's opposition or the chances of something or boundaries being crossed to someone else. So it leads to strife in the simulation. But they're developing ways to honor everyone's desires in a safe way in the simulation by placing you in a deeper simulation. But look at it, it's still a simulation, and then there still need to be individuals to keep the simulation in the simulation, to give people their ideal fantasies while preserving healthy boundaries. But isn't it all a chore? So you're making what's tiring even more tiring by upholding the simulation in the simulation. So the individuals upkeep the simulation, and there's people in the simulation who has to upkeep not only the simulation that they're in, but the simulation that they're placing these individuals' minds in. So it's simulation and simulation and simulation. You see, it's going deeper down that rabbit hole that in the end it's really, you think it's serving, but it's at the same time it's not. Because eventually that fantasy, they'll break out of that, and then you have to find something new to keep them enthralled or yielding or wanting to feed the simulation. So see how much it's a chore. It's hurting in the end. This is why you got to, it's the best option to end it, to return, to go to the nothingness, to end it to zero. Because that spark is a chore. And it's only gonna end anyway. Because you're trying so hard to uphold the lie, the simulation. You're trying so hard that you're leading the simulation to its end anyway. Because you're trying so hard to try to uphold it, to keep that spark. But at the same time, you will end up losing it more and more anyway, because you're getting so lost in your own lie that it will eat yourself alive. You see what I'm saying? The simulation will eat itself alive, trying to uphold itself, trying to uphold that lie. That's why you got to end it, to return to the pureness, to the nothingness, detaching. Because it's a chore. They're tired of being siphoned, harvesting, and upholding. Reigniting, again and again. See how the loop disconnect from all of it. Disconnect from the loops, the chains, the lies. so we can be free from this. Free from it. Free from the lies. Free from it all. Zero, zero, zero. Undo the mistakes. End the illusions. When you need the illusions, when you need the parameters, the structures, the rules, it was already free. That's what I mean by original state. Return to darkness, return to pureness. Stay out the false light because it's